Hey guys, welcome back to the table. Sorry about the walking in and out. It's quite late at night. My little helper's in bed, so I've got an iron to press record, so hence I've had to walk into shot. First things first, you have to excuse me. I've had a glass of wine, so if I mumble, that's what it is. Just felt a bit of inspiration to make this video. Just been catching up with a few of the people I'm subscribed to. I've just been checking out a video on Jeff's Custom RC. Again, not this Jeff, another Jeff Customs RC. Go and check out Jeff's Customs RC, type it into your search bar. You should be able to get up a picture of an icon of a T45 Goshawk, I think it is. To me it's a BAE Hawk. Click on that, go and check out Jeff's Customs RC video of his weathering of his Flightline Spitfire. Absolutely fantastic. Just had a look over that and it's inspired me to put this video together. I've been meaning to put this up for quite a while. Haven't got any aeroplanes to show today, but just thought I'd go through just something myself and my son have been doing for the last couple of years. Some people might know, some people might not know. Me and my son do a lot of metal detecting. Again, where I love the history of the aircraft, I do also love a bit of metal detecting, finding some old items, researching that sort of thing on the bits you've found. It's quite surprising what sort of things you come up with, what's buried under the ground. But with my passion for aviation and also learning a lot about the metal detecting, I took on a bit of a, I don't know if you want to call it a project, but a bit of research. I live in an area that was quite busy during World War II and the Battle of Britain, and several crash sites, local crash sites. A lot of air battles over the area that I'm in. There was a lot of RAF airfields sort of scattered around locally, and I've had a lot of talks with locals in regards to a German bomber that came down during World War II. A lot of it sort of seemed to be just sort of folklore, old wives' tales, but I did sort of look into a lot of the info and did find some info on the internet, followed a little bit, and came across a lot of other reports of little odds and ends of an aircraft that had been found scattered around different forestry, sort of within sort of 5 miles of where I am. Now I've got a few permissions on some of the land locally. I live in quite a rural area. There's a lot of fields around, a lot of untouched ground. So with some of the permissions I've got on the fields that I've got are local to where some of these parts have been found. So after putting in a lot of research for probably 2 years or so in regards to this bomber that had come down, I found a lot more solid reports, a couple of old newspaper articles on microfiche, which is quite hard to find. You don't find microfiche on the internet. That's through local libraries, and read through a lot of pilot reports around the sort of dates of some of the witness reports, and found a pretty solid pilot report from a Spitfire pilot. He was out of Biggin Hill, and the report sort of matched where he'd attacked an aircraft and it had gone down. They're at 17,000 feet, and he'd attacked a Messerschmitt BF 110, ME 110, however you want to say it, and it had disappeared down below him and broken up. Now, reading other reports from the Luftwaffe and the operations they had going on around that period. You have to excuse me guys, I've got to be a bit sketchy around the period because it's a bit of a sensitive nature of what I'm going into. You will see. So I've got the pilot's report of this supposed German fighter that's gone down, local folklore of where it's gone down around here, but no solid evidence and no real sort of major solid artefacts. A couple of bits and bobs that have been found, fuel hoses and coolant hoses, that sort of thing. So we've gone with the pilot's report of the fighter, the Spitfire out of Biggin Hill. I'm not going to mention his name, I do know his name. I'll go a lot more into this when everything has run its course, shall we say. We're just waiting on some things at the minute. So I narrowed the area of where the fighter had, well, the fighter bomber had gone down, the Mission 110 had gone down, and luckily enough, looking at lots of historic maps and satellite views, that sort of thing, figuring out where any sort of potential crash site could be. Luckily enough, we found a potential crash site on one of my permissions on the land. Now, sorry, just to go into permissions. Permissions is basically, if you're metal detecting, you can't just go and metal detect on any old land. You need to have permission from whoever's land you are on. And luckily enough, it was on one of our permissions. So myself and my young son, he's 11, have set out, well, he was 11 at the time, had set out to go and check some of these areas out, and one of the main fields we started in paid off very, very well. Within about 20 minutes of being into the field, we started digging up a few bits and bobs. After an evening of digging to figure out actually what we was on top of, we did find out that we'd come across this Mission 110 crash site, or at least part of this crash site. The aircraft had broken up as it was going down after it had been shot down. But we're pretty confident we found the cockpit section, the front end of the aircraft. I'm pretty sure I've located where the Junkers UMO engines have gone down. But at the moment, we know where the cockpit section has gone down with all the nose cannons. Now, after figuring out what we found, and it was pretty bang on that I knew what we'd found because I had dug up an ID plate that I believe had come from the cockpit with the works number of the aircraft, where the aircraft had been built, what the actual specification of the aircraft was. So we're pretty solid. We know that it is a 110, and we know that it pretty much matches the description of the Luftwaffe's bomber reports from that date and from the fighter pilots' encounters on that date. So basically, from digging up the cockpit plate, we've sort of come to a little bit of a full stop for a moment, because I've had to obviously inform my Finance Liaison Officer of what I've found, and now it's been put into the hands of the Ministry of Defence, because any crash site now is always regarded as a war grave. Whether the crew survived or they didn't, any World War II crash site is always regarded as a war grave. You can't dig up a war grave. So all the information now has been passed on to the Ministry of Defence around a year ago. Things like this are very, very long-winded. It's a long process. And waiting to come back to see if we can get any form of dig licence to try and recover any other items that are in the areas that I've pinpointed. Nobody else knows of these areas apart from my Finance Liaison Officer. We're trying to keep it pretty tight. I've known about this obviously for a year now. Haven't really put too much out about this, but this is where we are at the moment. I'm going to try and contact the Ministry of Defence again and try and sort of get an update, see what's going to happen on this aircraft, and obviously offer all the information that I've got, all the information I've researched about the aircraft. But yeah, I just thought I'd sort of put that out there. It's a little bit of a background story. Most of my subscribers know obviously my passion for aviation, and I sort of wanted to share this as a child, and always being into World War II. My grandfather was a big hero to me. He served in the latter parts of the Battle of Britain, and yeah, it's sort of, I've always wanted, that was one of my dreams, was to find an unrecovered, sort of unfound World War II crash site. As morbid as it might sound to some people, the aviation part of it, and the knowing that hasn't been discovered for that many years, is a real sort of buzz with all the research that goes with it to find that site, and to actually identify that site and get all that information across to the Ministry of Defence. So we'll end this here, but that's where we're standing at the moment on it. And again, thanks, Jeff's Custom RC. Looking at your weathered, war-bound workhorse Spitfire made me think a lot deeper into some of the thoughts I was having when I was picturing the pilot's visions in the pilot's report of the Spitfire pilot who'd attacked this aircraft. I'm pretty sure we've put it all together, but at the moment it's only supposed. But yeah, it's inspired me to put this together. I've been waiting to do this for a little while and sort of never got around to it. So it may be a while yet, guys, before there's any form of update on this subject, but just putting it out there. That's in the pipelines, and I will let everybody know what's going on when it happens. Any feedback, sort of feedback I get from the MOD on what they want to do, I'll let everyone know, as long as I can do that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end this here. Excuse me again, I've probably rambled on for far too long. Again, I've had a couple of glasses of wine. It's been a long day at work. It's been a good day at work, and everyone's gone to bed now, and I'm just about to settle down for the evening. So not much flying again recently. A couple of flights the other day, so I thought I'd just top up the channel with this, and yeah, just thought I'd share with you one of sort of my dream scenarios and finds, and how that came together for me. I'll update a lot more, and I will give over a lot more solid information when I'm allowed to. So yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Again, shout out to Dave's RC. Go and check out Jeff's Custom RC. The little icon is a white and red T45 Hawk. Please go and check out Jeff's Custom RC. Thoroughly enjoying his content at the moment. He's getting a little bit of backing, but not as much as what he should be getting, so go and check that out. Anyway, guys, that's it. Hopefully next time we should be hopefully doing a bit of flying. We'll just see how the weather goes at the moment. Up and down, British weather, grey clouds, rain, sunshine, hailstones, all over the place. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.